Hey guys, Drobim77 here. Right, so I thought I've done a review on the Enfield static, and now I've actually got the girl back on the road because she's been mothballed for a couple of months because of the weather and everything. Also had a problem with the fuel lines, but I thought I'd give you an on-road guide as to what these girls are like. So, alright, here goes. The starting ritual. Now this is quite annoying if you're used to just pressing a button. What you need to do is turn your petrol on, which is down there. You have to pull in your clutch there and kick down on the kickstart. That releases the clutch plates, because the clutch plates will stick together, which makes it a lot more difficult to start. Then usually you give it sort of 3 or 4 kicks. If it's a cold day, you'll need the choke. Usually you do need the choke regardless, but so you give it sort of 3 or 4 kicks with the decompression lever. You need to press that in, otherwise you will not get the thing going because it's got such a high compression ratio. Right, so next you turn your ignition on. Now the most important bit here is, as you're kicking down on here very slowly, so press the decompression lever in, you'll notice that the amp meter flicks to the left there, like that. See? Yep, there we go. That's camera the side, isn't it? Yeah, so that means that the points are open at that point. So what you need to do now is just very gently go a little bit further, so it flicks back to the middle like that. Then give it a god almighty kick and hope it doesn't kick you back, because it hurts. There you go, so that's your Enfield started. Now you might have to reach underneath the carburettor, and there's a little knob down here which adjusts the tick over speed a bit, because you might have to bump the tick over speed up a little bit until it's warmed up to keep the thing going. Now the controls. Right, what you'll notice is all the controls are a standard layout. Now the difference with this bike, because it's an old school bike, is you've got the wait for that wagon to go past. You've got the gear lever on the right hand side, so first gear is 1 up like that, so pull your clutch in, you get into first gear and then pull off. It's a very light clutch. Second gear is 1 down. Third gear is another 1 down. Fourth gear is that it. Well, that's it rather. So there you go. Now the bike is really nimble. It's really comfortable. It's not especially fast, but it is a lovely handling bike. You'd think sort of a 70-year-old design of bike, it would be pretty difficult to handle, but it's not. It's really lightweight. The response of the engine is pretty sort of sluggish, really. You're not going to sort of win any battles with a Ninja or anything with this bike. So be prepared to just sit back and relax. Speaking of sitting back, the riding position is absolutely sit up and beg, so you're perfectly upright. You're not sort of crouched down like you're on a sports bike or anything. I've got a sprung saddle as well, which helps with the bumps, although the suspension's pretty good. This bike was made in 2007 and has done about sort of 20,000 miles or something like that. Now the power of this bike is about 21 brake horsepower, that bit gravel. Second gear, third gear, no, it's fourth gear actually. Yeah, so this is a 2007 bike, but this is the last of the carbureted models. The newer ones have all got fuel injection, which might be okay, but I wanted a bike that I could actually rabbit service myself. And this is dead easy to service, dead easy to keep on the road. Now the control gear, the switch gear is pretty good. The headlamp on this bike, I have to say, is absolutely the best headlamp I've ever had on any bike, and this is the 24th bike I've ever owned, so you know it is brilliant. If it's night time, like, everything would be illuminated, so it is pretty good. Now then, the brakes are single shoe on the back and a twin leading shoe on the front. Now the back brake's not brilliant, it doesn't do an awful lot. It's good in sort of slow traffic and stuff like that. The front brake is actually better than you'd think, considering it's a twin leading shoe. It's not going to sort of pull you up like a Fireblade would, or R1, or whatever the latest fast bike is on that a touch. But yeah, it does the job perfectly well. You do have to do a little bit of planning. You can't just sort of slam on the brakes and expect everything to stop. So the top speed of this bike, in theory, well, I've had this one up to an indicated 80 miles an hour, which is probably like, well, I don't know, 73 or something, I should imagine, in real money. She doesn't like to go over 60 miles an hour. So perfect sort of cruising speed is 55, which on a bike like this is perfectly adequate. If you want something faster, buy something faster. But if you want to sort of poot around the lanes in the summertime on a little bike that rides like a BMX, and this is the bike for you. Now I bought this new in 2007 for just under 4,000 quid, which for a new bike is pretty good. They hold the value pretty well as well, so you don't have to worry about depreciation too much. Fuel economy. Now this is a 500cc model, and the fuel economy is about 90 miles to the gallon, I should imagine, if you're just pootling around. The 350, hang on, I'm just going to... My mates live there. The 350 is a lot more economical. You'll get sort of over 100 miles to the gallon on that. Oil, it uses about a pint of oil every 400 miles, so you have to check the oil every other couple of days or something like that, just to make sure, and it's pretty easy to do. There's just a dipstick down the side. Oh, look at this sunshine. Now one thing you should always check is this bike, because it's got a 500cc single cylinder, it shakes like a bitch. So you are always forever having to check nuts and bolts to make sure nothing is come loose, and it will come loose. I've had all the indicators have fell off at one point, the front mud guards fell off, the indicators fell off. I said that, haven't I? What else? The chain guard fell off, the rear mud guard, yeah, that fell off too. The horn fell off. So, you know, after a while you suddenly start thinking, right, I've got to keep checking all this shit because it's getting a bit silly. And it does pay to check all your nuts and bolts if you're going to go on a longish journey. Oh yeah, another thing to note is in summer traffic she will overheat quite badly, so you want to keep her moving, which, because it's a skinny bike, you can just zip through the traffic. I mean, this is, for a 500cc, this has got no width to it whatsoever. I mean, the handlebars are the widest thing, they're not, nothing's sticking out further. The foot pegs are rigid, so you do have to worry about twatting the curb if you go, well, the floor if you go around an island on your knee, which I don't think I've ever seen anybody do it at Enfield, but that's always the first time. So there you have it, Royal Enfield riding review. I might do another one actually, this one's probably a bit shit, but at the minute I'm tired, so fuck it.